Hi guys, and welcome back to our channel. If you don't know who I am, I'm Helen from Crafty So & So. I'm a sewing lover, fabric hoarder and all around craft enthusiast. I created this channel to help you, people like you, learn more about sewing, get into this awesome hobby and find some fun and exciting projects to do. So if you don't already know, I do have a blog where I talk about the same things just in a written format with pictures and step-by-step guides. So if you prefer reading and following guides that way, then head over to my blog where you'll find all the same content just in a written format. So before we get started, I'd love to invite you to like this video if you enjoy it, if you find it helpful, or even if you like one of the items on this list, because it really helps me in the YouTube algorithm. It helps push my videos out to other people like you who want to enjoy sewing and get more into these sewing projects. So of course we're doing 10 beginner projects that you can use fat quarters with. Fat quarters are a great resource for fabric. They come in a cute little pack, you know, anything from 4 or 5 fat quarters up to 12 or more. I love using fat quarters because they come in a little pack and they come in a really nice colourway. And so they're really easy to use together and you don't have to spend hours matching fabrics in the shop. I also really love fat quarters because you can find some really cute designs, and if you're not wanting to buy even a half a metre or full metre, this is a great way of getting a piece of that fabric for small projects that you want to make without having to spend a lot of money on a lot of the fabric. So number one on our list is pyramid pattern weights. I love making these pyramid pattern weights. You can make them in so many funky different designs and patterns, and they are just so useful, especially if you are using them within your sewing room. So I often find that they're really helpful for keeping my pattern pieces onto my fabric, so then it gives me time to, you know, arrange the layout of the pieces on the fabric, so I can weight them down, nothing's flying away or moving, and it just helps me keep everything in place and keep everything a bit more accurate while I'm working. These are also fantastic if you want to use them as paperweights, you know, if you're looking at making one for a friend in an office, or, you know, around the home if you like to keep things weighted in an area. These are really good for that as well. I also had from one of my subscribers, thank you for telling me about this, that you can use them the same pattern and the same format, but use like a stuffing or a wadding inside, put in a little bit of catnip and give them to your cats, and they love them and they find them so fun to use and play with. So that is an alternative in case you're looking for something just a little different. Number two on our list is a drawstring bag. These are super handy for a whole number of reasons, a whole number of things. You can use 2 fat quarters for this depending on the size, or you can use 3 or 4 if you want to make one larger. Depending on the size will depend on how much you want to use, but the fabric itself is perfect for using with these fat quarters. Make a great start off place for making drawstring bags, as they're already a small piece of fabric. You can kind of use dimensions of the fat quarter to create the dimensions of your bag. You can kind of work with what you've already got to create your bag, and it's just so much simpler than having to draw out a load of different squares, rectangles, and to create your shape that you want. You can just use what you've got and go from there. Drawstring bags are really simple to make, really easy to put together, and perfect if you are just getting started with sewing. I love making drawstring bags because I find them really useful. They're perfect for putting together like little goodie bags for kids, or even use them as gift bags for people. If you're not wanting to use paper, you can use a fabric bag, or you can use them for things that you're storing yourself. I like to use them to store my sewing machine feet, and I put them on a little hook on my pegboard. A whole number of uses for drawstring bags, which is great. I do have a blog tutorial on how to make a drawstring bag and a video tutorial, which I'll leave a link into the description below for you. Number 3 on the list is a sewing machine mat. So something that I recently started using was a sewing machine mat, because I like having the pockets to keep things in. I don't like having everything skewed on the table, so I like to be able to keep things in a pocket and have a mat on my table for my sewing machine. Because a sewing machine naturally vibrates and moves because of the jiggering movement of the sewing part of it, it can often feel like it's vibrating a lot on your table. So sewing machine mats can help take that vibration and noise away, and so a sewing machine mat is a really good way to do that. It's also really fun to make, especially for yourself, or even if you've got a friend that sews as well, you can make one for them. You can make them with fat quarters. You can use up to 2 or 3 fat quarters depending on the size you want to do, and they are really simple to put together. What I love most about a sewing machine mat is that they're just using square pieces of fabric. You don't have to do anything too complicated. The most complicated part is the binding, and they are really simple ways to get around that. What I love the most is that this is a really practical make and it's really straightforward, so if you are really new to sewing, this is perfect for you. Number 4 on the list is fabric crowns. I love making these. I've made them a couple of times for my nieces and nephews and left them in a little playhouse for them, and they love them. They're really good for dressing up boxes of children who love to play pretend and love to be princesses and princes and knights. So I really love making these because they're really simple and straightforward to do. The perfect part is that they can take up less than a fat quarter, so you can use 1 fat quarter to make 1 fabric crown along with a piece of ribbon. Similar to the drawstring bag, I am currently filming a video for these, which I'll leave a link in the description for, or I do have a step-by-step tutorial over on my blog. Number 5 on the list is a fabric corner bookmark. So I'm a big fan of reading. I love reading. It's something that really calms me, and I just could sit and read for hours. So when I decided that a bookmark was no longer doing it for me, I created one of these fabric corner bookmarks, and it has revolutionised my reading. These are really fun and simple to do, and you don't even need a full fat quarter to make them. You could probably make upwards of 5 fabric corner bookmarks with 1 fat quarter piece. So these are perfect if you are looking at making nice little gifts for your teachers, for your children, for nieces and nephews, for friends, or even your book club. Number 6 on the list is a fabric catch-all tray. I love using these. These are so handy to have and so useful. They are perfect for a number of things, from collecting your loose change to your car keys, to storing things in drawers that need to be a little bit more separated. Anything. I use them in my sewing room to hold my pins in or my clips, and I just find them so helpful because they're just there ready to be used, easy to transport around my room, and they just look so super cute. Catch-all trays are perfect for a number of uses around the home, and so these are really simple to do. They are extremely beginner friendly. So you can use 2 fat quarters or even less for this, depending on the size. Easily cut them down to size and sew them together. As simple as that. You take a few different seams and sewing and pinning in place, and they are done. So they are perfect for beginners who are looking to build their confidence, doing little projects, and that they can use around the home. Again, I'm going to be doing a video tutorial on how to make the fabric catch-all trays, but I do also have a step-by-step tutorial over my blog, and I'll leave the link in the description. Number 7 on the list is bunting. Bunting is one of the best things you can do when you are a beginner. It's probably one of the simplest, one of the quickest, and one of the most rewarding things you can make as a beginner. What I love is that you can easily use fat quarters to create this. You can get a nice little bundle and just match them up, and so, you know, cut out your triangles, sew them together, add a little like ribbon or binding to the top, and you are done. What I love about bunting is that you can use it to decorate any space, from a sewing room, a playhouse, bedroom, living room, anything you want, and it adds a nice little extra dimension and little like decoration to the room. Number 8 on the list is a reading cushion. So I've made a reading cushion for my 2 nieces and my nephew, and they absolutely love their reading cushion. It's something they keep on their bed, and they love just carrying it around the house, being able to put it onto the sofa and take it back upstairs. And I made mine with fat quarters. I used a full piece, made sure that my cushion fit in the piece that I was working with, and they were so simple to put together and I was so pleased. Reading cushions, you can use 2 to 3 pieces of 2 to 3 pieces of fabric from your fat quarter bundle to create, and they can look so fun. I did this with a couple of Disney prints and some like Toy Story prints as well, which I really enjoyed, and they came out really well and really funky. As they are a standard pillowcase just with the pocket on the front, they are really simple to put together and really suitable for beginners to tackle. Number 9 on the list is a fabric iPad case. I originally made this case for my mother-in-law. She still uses it now, and it was just so simple and fun to do, and I really enjoyed making it. It used up 2 to 3 fat quarters, and as the fabrics were already matching, it looked lovely when I brought it together. You can also use this iPad case for a number of different things. If you change the sizing, or you can use interfacing that's stiffer so it feels more like a clutch bag. The dimensions and the actual tutorial of it you can adjust to fit your needs, and it's perfect for a number of different things. Again, I've got a tutorial on my blog on how to do that if you want to check it out. So the final one on the list is a needle case. So of course a needle case will not take up a full fat quarter, but you can use then the remaining to make a fabric catch-all tray or some pyramid pattern weights, so you can have a nice matching collection in your sewing room. You can also make like a little you can also make a matching needle case that you can send off to a friend, so you've both got one, which would be super cute. Or you can use it for other little scrap projects. A needle case is perfect for beginners because it takes a small amount of time, small amount of fabric, and it's really straightforward to do. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. Let me know in the comments which project you decide to do, and if you have any pictures, I'd love to see them. Let me know how you get on and what you like to make with your fat quarters. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.